the first time.
Why not? Nobody will ever know the difference.
I'm Cynthia.
I'm Joseph, but everybody calls me Joe.
Come in, don't just stand there.
How's my little moral convalescent today? Better, I hope.
Oh, stop patronizing me and sit down and look at it.
Look at what?
My Rodin, there.
Where?
There.
Good heavens.
Do you think that Rodin meant to show us a link between sex and the religious experience?
No, Mrs. Langley, I don't believe Rodin had any theological implication in these caresses. It's simply that the human body, human form, undraped, lends itself best for sculptural interpretation of the love play that precedes the sexual act.
But why must there be any love play? Why must there be any pleasure in an act that's only for the production of offspring?
Mrs. Langley!
But you know I'm right. Oh, but you won't tell them. You won't condemn their fornicating, their violence, their living, breathing sex. You won't even tell them what I feel. You don't even come to see me as often as you did. You only come to see me when the church needs money.
We realize what you have done for us. And in appreciation, we are dedicating the new South Wing for you.
There, you see, you probably think I'm going to die. They only name things after people when they're dead.
Mrs. Langley, I didn't come here to collect money for the church. I came thinking I might be of some help. Last night I received a long-distance phone call from Nevada. The chaplain at the academy told me everything.
Everything?
Everything about George, about his illness, about his coming home. And I thought I might be able to be of some help.
Help? Nobody can help my baby but me.
Surely his own pastor.
Nobody.
I've watched George grow up.
No, not even you. Well, I don't want to talk about my baby. Just don't talk about George.
Don't talk about George. She'll climb all over anyone who talks about George. Especially now.
Why now?
Yes, sir.
We better get on out to the airport. The plane just might be early.
Yes, sir. I'll bring the car around.
Why especially now?
He was kicked out of the academy yesterday. They say he's a queer boy.
Yes?
Who is this?
I'm Cynthia, the new maid. The agency sent me.
Does the uniform fit properly?
I don't know. I haven't tried it on yet.
Then try it on. Then come to my
Yes.
room.
Red meat, red wine, white fish and fowl, white wine, no spray waxes on fine furnishings. When member of the family is passing on stairs, stop until they are passed. Don't call knives and forks, call them service. Oh, God, 2 weeks won't be long enough. I need to keep this job.
Shameful, ungrateful, little brat.
What did you do today, Reb? Catch any green fish? Get yourself an organ? Drop another tear?
I'm going to pick up George. I suggest you don't have anyone over during the weekend, especially any of that wild bunch Judy's been running with.
Sid, you will be kind. Be kind.
Kind? You're the new girl?
Yes, I'm Cynthia.
You are colored.
Yes. My mother is Negro.
Cynthia,
Yes, ma'am.
Not much background as I can see.
No, ma'am.
Ever worked for anyone in the business before?
I beg your pardon?
Picture business, films, movies.
No, ma'am.
No, madam.
No, madam.
Well, you can't gold brick the way they did during the war. Of course, that was before you were born. We need some temporary help. My son is coming home for a while, but I can take care of him. I'll need you to look after Judy,
Judy.
my daughter. And if all works out well, we'll talk about a permanent arrangement.
Thank you.
How old are you?
17, nearly 18.
Your parents were Negro?
Only my mother. My father left her before I was born.
Then you're illegitimate?
Oh, no. No, they were married, but according to Mother, having children wasn't what he had in mind. And it seems that marriage license don't mean much to saxophone players.
Then you're what they call a high yellow.
Among other things, yes.
Now, look, don't get smart. After all, a servant living under the same roof is necessarily on very intimate terms with the family she serves.
I'm sorry if I spoke out of turn. I do need the job.
Oh, well, no harm done. You seem like a bright young lady.
My mother's a school teacher. She wanted to teach and I wanted to learn.
Just apply your native intelligence and we'll get on. Joseph will help you get acquainted with your duties. Cynthia, how old did you say you were?
17, nearly 18.
One more thing. Mr. Langley's work at the studio involves peculiar hours and habits, especially when there's a screening on the lot or premiere at Grauman's. So you won't be required to take care of his room. I'll have Joseph take care of that.
Yes, madam. Well, hi. I'm Judy. I quit school when I was 16. I'm Cindy.
I'm the original dropout kid. Hollywood High. It's Kicksville for me. I want to be where the action is. Dig? Man, like when you're from Squaresville. And your old man makes all the money in the world. Who needs the 3 R's? The only writing I do is in a checkbook. Am I bugging you, chick?
Okay, stop putting me on.
I'll cool it. You like my pictures?
Quite a collection you have here. Brando, Harris, McQueen.
That's right. All the hippies. And look, over here. Belafonte. They know what it is to make it. Cindy, tell me, what is it like to be colored?
I don't feel I have to answer that.
Yes, you do. You're supposed to take care of me. All right. I want to know then. Your skin is almost as white as mine. What's the difference?
The difference is I had to quit school to go to work.
You had it rude.
Rude, crude, tattooed. I haven't got all the answers yet, but I'm working on it.
I suppose you think I flipped. Dropping out that way. Most people are against it.
Are you? I wasn't sent here to change your diapers.
I like you, Cindy. You're honest. That's something very rare in Hollywood. Let's be friends. Okay?
Okay, Judy.
You know something, Cindy? You could pass for white.
I intend to.
It's George. In a taxi?
But Mr. Langley went to get him.
Need me, it's better this way. Come on.
Hi, wayward sister. No, it's too heavy. I'll take it.
Oh, George, meet Cindy. Cindy, meet George.
Cynthia, go to the greenhouse and tell Major Bates to let you have the centerpiece for the dining room table. Well, he'll know what you're referring to. And Judy, you can help by telling Cook that we'll eat promptly at 8, unless your father has a screening tonight. Run on.
Sit out because of George. Well, don't get any funny ideas about him. He's queer, you know. Queer as a $3 bill.
I don't know any such thing.
They're too soft on them nowadays. Too soft.
Mrs. Langley wants the centerpiece.
In the old days, we had ways of straightening out crooked recruits. Made men out of them. Never found one we couldn't straighten out, no matter how far gone. The worst ones were those that were just putting on. A lot of faggot actors. There was this doctor out in San Fernando Valley who used to give them shots to make aromatics. Think they were all there.
I don't want to hear.
Of course, he ain't much better than that sister of his. Malibu Beach has heard that room. You know what they do at these beach parties?
I neither know nor care. Let me have the centerpiece.
See this neck? That little tramp's neck's not much stronger than this rabbit's. You know what I'd like to do? Break her neck like a twig.
And here I am in my full dress uniform.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, don't argue with him now, dear. Not on your first day home.
We've got to have it out, Mother. It might as well be now.
I'd meet you at the airport.
I'm old enough to take care of myself.
I'm not so sure. 6 months away from home and already in the worst kind of a mess a kid can get into.
That's their story.
Who am I to believe? They don't make those kind of mistakes.
They do, and they can. The military can make mistakes. Oh, God, how they can make mistakes.
I went through it. It didn't hurt me.
You went through it. You went through it, the famous Hollywood producer who gave his all to the Signal Corps. I've seen all the clippings, remember? His combat cameraman made World War II the most photographed event in history.
That's right.
Well, I talked to some of those cameramen. They said you never got further than the bar at the Savoy Hotel in London. I know the guy that shot that phony newsreel of you up to your knees in mud at Anzio. He said that was shot 3 days later at Dover.
You've said enough.
Have I? Have I? What about that Oscar on top of the bar? Does this town know you had nothing to do with the making of that film on the invasion?
Don't, George. You're just opening up old wounds.
Let him go. Let him go with his lies. I didn't think he had it in him. Let him go ahead.
Lies? What about Major Bates? What does he know about gardening? You've been carrying that sadistic criminal ever since the war. They told me about the Major, too. He was your hatchet man, your club, when you had dirty work to do. Doesn't it bother you to have him around here? Can't you hear the cries of those 3 GIs who drowned in a marsh because of Major Bates' stupid girl pride?
If you're through with your vivisection of me and the Major, maybe you'll give an account of yourself. Do you know what it took to get you your appointment at that academy? What it took in pressure, deals, influence?
And money?
Yes, and money. Dirty money, you call it, from dirty pictures. And I'm amazed at how people who can't make it are so quick to call it dirty. And I can buy and sell any one of them any day in the week. And that dirty money has given you and your mother a pretty soft go of it for the best part of your life. Maybe that's where I made my mistake. Giving you too much. Giving you the things I had to scratch for. And all I wind up with is a deviant son, a queer.
I told you that's their story.
All I know is that tomorrow, on every sound stage in this dirty town, they're going to be talking about Sid Langley and his queer boy, George.
That's a lie!
Everybody has their problems, honey. You'd better go help Joseph with the silver, or dinner will be late. Take the stairs to the basement.
Did you think they'd all be angels?
I really hadn't thought much about it.
But it's not just this house. It's the same all over. Knock on any door.
When we first drove up to this house, I thought, how beautiful. I thought I could learn so much.
Yeah.
Joseph?
Yeah.
How do you stand it?
I'm just biding my time. Man can take a lot when he's got a plan.
A plan?
I'm going back to what I'm good at. Cars. Oh, I like cars. I'm going to open my own shade tree garage. I like to hear a car purr right. When a car's got a call, I know just the right medicine.
Won't that take a lot of money?
Penny.
You saving for it?
On chauffeur's wages? You kidding?
Then where will you get the money?
You're looking at it.
Why are you telling me this? I could stop you.
You won't, honey. You won't. 2 reasons. First, because of who you are and what you are. But mainly because you got a plan, too.
Oh, I don't.
You got a plan, don't you, Cynthia? Oh, you can tell me. I've seen it 1,000 times. It's written all over your face. You're gonna pass, ain't you, Cindy? Not that I blame you, girl. But you're gonna pass.
I tried not to think about it. I tried to put it out of my mind. But I kept having this dream. There's this pretty white angel food cake in the middle of a big round table. There's this little girl, me I guess, trying to reach out and touch some of the cake. But it's always out of reach.
C'est la vie.
It's like Mama and him. Mama said he used to come home when the band wasn't on the road, when he needed her. But never for very long. Then he'd get out of reach again, like that cake. I don't want a life like that. I want some of that cake, Joseph. I want to learn. Help me, Joseph.
Nothing I'd say could stop you, girl. I know I said I couldn't blame you. But look at it another way. You just might turn out as bad as your old man.
How do you mean?
All right. You go to work and you learn. All right. I'll help you. You make a nice white lady out of yourself. That means you're going to have white boys for friends. I mean, one day you find one you like and you get married. Are you going to tell him about you? No. No, you won't, because that might lose him. And one day you find out you're going and have a baby.
I lose either way.
Honey, when you was born, you lost every way a human can lose. Like I said, nothing I'd say could stop you. Full service includes silver for each course. The dinner starts from the outside and works in. First there's a soup spoon. Then it's done.
Joseph?
Yes, sir.
Call the back room. If Judy's back from her ride, tell her we are not waiting dinner for her.
Yes, sir.
Touch him again. I'll take care of him. If you as much as go near him again, I'll make Dad throw you off the plate, which is what he should have done years ago.
Sid, do you have to have a cigarette with each course? I thought you were going to give them up, especially at dinner. With George home. Did you take time to wash the stable off your hands? Or was this the dinner table?
Cindy, bring my tea and silver. Why don't you sit down and eat something?
No, it wouldn't be right. They'll be looking for me.
Do you think I'm a kook?
No, not really.
That's the hard part to take, the leftovers. But you don't have to worry about the booze. They'll finish this. It's Cointreau. When they take it in their coffee, it means they've enjoyed the dinner. But when they take it straight, things ain't so good.
That'll be all for tonight, Cynthia.
Yes, madam.
You'd better turn in. With your trip and all, you've had a hard day's night.
Oh, I really don't mind.
No. It's mostly getting the silverback right. I don't mind that. Seeing as I have a personal interest in silver.
I think it's time we had to talk about Judy.
Judy? That's odd. I thought it was about time we'd have a talk about George.
Dear baby Cindy, I don't have to guess about the things that are grieving you. Mothers have a way of knowing those things. Starting today, you're going to be another person than my Cindy. You won't be living a lie, but it won't be the absolute truth either. I've always felt that no matter what, a person should have somebody to whom they're honest and real. Since Mama can't be there with you, I thought this diary could be that somebody. When you're writing this diary, make it my Cindy doing the writing, not that other stranger. I hope I never know. I love you, Mama.
Dear diary, where did the week go? Things that seemed so frightening and strange, now I take for granted. Joseph is the best friend I've ever had. He knows everything anybody has to know about everything. At least I think so. He's a wonderful teacher, although he doesn't approve of why I want so much to learn. And he acts so somber when I talk about passing for white. I like Joseph, but not the way he wants me to. Mr. Langley is hard to figure out. When he has men from the studio in the house, there is no doubt who is in charge. They are all quiet while I'm in the room. But when I close the door behind me, they always find something to laugh about. Right here and now, dear diary, I should tell you that Mrs. Langley isn't ill at all. But she spends most of the day in bed. She has a different house coat for every day in the week. When she isn't on the phone or eating chocolates, she makes Reverend Hatfield listen to talk about sex and love. Poor Mr. Hatfield. He has so little, and she has so much. I'm afraid of Major Bates. Judy's told me to stay away from him. I've done just that since my first day here. I'll never know why Mr. Langley keeps him on the place. George calls it a war debt. He says it sarcastically. George. I've never known anyone quite like George. Gentle, considerate. Is it my vanity that tells me he only smiles when he's with me? I don't think so. I like George. And Judy. How do I describe Judy? She's an untamed filly. At least, that's what they would call her in the fabulous world she lives in. A world of beautiful Arabian thoroughbreds. A world I never would have known but for her. It's so typically Judy. The paradox that's Judy. That here in an atmosphere of expressions like good breeding, bloodlines, pedigrees, here there is no color line. She introduces me to her friends as a friend. If it were not for my uniform, you would never know I was a servant.
Remember, I told you we were going to get out of this morgue. Tonight's the night. Mom and Dad have gone to a screening in the valley. Won't be back for hours. Judy. We're going out to Disco-Go-Go's out on Santa Monica Boulevard. All the kids are making it.
You're forgetting something.
Oh, you mean about your being colored? It's not like we were in Dixie, you know.
Even so.
Anyway, who would know? You said yourself when you leave us you're going to pass. Let's put it to the test. Nobody will know or care what color you are.
Maybe it would be worth it. As a test, I mean.
That's more like it. You could go like Cinderella. Or Cinderella. Hey, I made it funny. A high yellow Cinderella.
Judy, you're incorrigible.
Hey, remember our pact. No swaying around here. You get into the dress. I've got the money. I'll bring the jag and pick you up. You ghoul. You lousy feet ghoul. Don't ever frighten me like that again.
Does your parents know you're going out dressed like that? Flouting yourself in front of every pimply-faced kid you meet?
That's none of your business, Wolfman. Now get out of my way.
You're ashamed before God.
Yeah? Man, what would you know about God?
I'll report everything I know to Colonel Langley.
Big deal. You as much as mention my name to my old man, and I'll tell him you made a pass at me.
If you get bored with that sarsaparilla they serve in there, we'll quit the scene and really have a nightcap.
Hey, who's a new toe?
Now, live from the Go-Go, Jody Daniel. Well, yeah, going downtown, gonna move it all around at the Go-Go. Going every night, cause it's moving all right at the Go-Go. Yeah, yeah, you move it to the left, you move it to the right. Down, pretty baby, gotta do it right. Everybody's moving, cause it's mighty, mighty grooving at the Go-Go. Well, shake, 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 little baby, move it up and down. It's all mighty crazy. Move, 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 a little baby, now go, go, go. Jerk, jerk, baby, do it now. Swim, or what you say, well, show 'em how. Your hair's so pretty, hang it down. Move it, baby, move it all around. Get out of this world, girl, except go at the Go-Go. Getting mighty high as the night goes by at the Go-Go. Yeah, yeah, you move it to the left, you move it to the right. Down, pretty baby, gotta do it right. Well, everybody's moving, cause it's mighty, mighty grooving at the Go-Go. Go! Shake, shake, shake it, little baby, move it up and down. It's all mighty crazy. Move, move, move it, little baby, now go, go, go. Get out of this world, girl, except go at the Go-Go. Getting mighty high as the You move it to the left, you move it to the right, and down, pretty baby, gotta do it right. Everybody's moving 'cause it's mighty, mighty groovy. That's the go, 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 pretty baby, go, 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 pretty baby, go, 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 pretty baby.
Big Pitch.
I think we just let two white pigeons fly away home.
Cindy, you're going to get the devil.
I thought you had taken them to a preview.
Mrs. Langley got one of her headaches. She always does on horror pictures. Judy's too far gone to walk. It's the first time I've ever seen her out like this.
Are they asleep?
Yeah. Better take up the back way. You better go on up quick. If they wake up, they'll call for you, sure. She's all right, Mr. George. Somebody slipped her Mickey. Best thing is to let her sleep it off. Think it just as well they don't know.
Couldn't sleep. When they came back early from the theater, Major Bates called from the stable and said you and Judy had gone out in the Jag.
I knew it was wrong.
Judy's very persuasive. They know that. She needs someone like you. Someone she can depend on. She's never been able to communicate with them. Neither one of us has.
Everybody needs someone.
Neither one of us.
My diary. My mama gave it to me when I came here, when I left her. It's my confidant. In here, I'm me. I keep a promise I made Mama.
How warm that sounds. I've never called her Mama. You must love your mother very much.
Very much. We've never had but one difference. One.
I don't know if she's failed as a mother or I failed as a son. Now as a man.
I have no right. But I think of you as a man.
Say it over. Say it again.
I think of you. Oh, I've tried not to. I have no right to think of you that way.
You have every right.
No, it never
Yes,
works. It can't work. The world a hurt world. Why does it thrive on hurting? It turns on me for something I am. It turns on you for something you aren't. Oh, God. I promised I'd never complain.
After the incident, I tried to talk to him by long distance. It was the first time it wasn't a collect call. God, you'd think he'd know it was important. But he wouldn't accept the call. He wouldn't hear my side of the story. He won't now. He never will.
I will.
There was this place in town called Sans Souci. A dive, really. I knew it was off limits. But the guys were going there in small groups or alone. Especially two from my barracks.
place seemed okay to me. Regular, okay. I didn't really know them too well. They kept pressuring me to go with them into town to the Sans Souci. Barracks can be pretty depressing on a Saturday night. Everybody taking off, dating, you know. So I went in with them. Just the three of us. There was hardly anyone there for the last show when we got there. The place was quiet, hardly lit at all. Then, this girl came out. Looked pretty enough. Evening gown, even a fur coat. As I remember it, she kept watching me while she sang. Then she stripped slowly. The guys kept at me with this talk that she was ready for me. Said they had it firsthand that she was great and a lot of fun. I wanted to take off. Then this note came from upstairs, where she'd gone, from her, wanting me to come up. I wanted to take off and get out of there, I swear it. But the guys called me chicken, dared me. Said that walk up those stairs was what separated the boys from the men. They put special emphasis on the word boys. I'd been drinking. But that wasn't what made me do it. It was the dare, I think. Guys go a long way in uniform to be with it, to belong. So I went up to the room. I thought I could save face by talking my way out of the place. She sat on the edge of the bed and called me to come over. I couldn't find words to get out. Then she turned off the light by the bed and came over and started kissing me. Then it happened. This woman, this thing, pulled off a wig, and earrings. I remember the slick hair, the dark, hungry eyes, like a reptile. That woman, that perfumed sequin dancer wasn't a woman at all. It was a boy. A transvestite. I stood there saying nothing. That was where they found me when the base police kicked in the door and arrested me.
It was nothing but a cruel joke. You weren't touched. You didn't touch.
No, God, no.
It's past. Forget it.
But don't you see? It's not that I wasn't involved. It's that I wasn't nauseated. I wasn't shocked. I wasn't angry. I didn't strike out or run. I just stood there. Fascinated.
Oh, that's no admission of anything. It was fascination with an animal that wants to feed. You don't have to prove anything to me, George. But you must prove it to yourself.
Your gown. Tonya, get up.
Oh, dear George, tear it from me, Count.
Wood? Miss Cindy Wood?
Yes, sir.
Would you mind waiting downstairs for the others, please?
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Langley, you have my deepest sympathy and apologies for having to subject you to what must be a considerable strain. But police officers must conduct business on a strictly impersonal basis.
I understand.
Point out that everything each of you is saying will be recorded by this officer and may be used as evidence against you. You and Mr. Langley retired when you came back from the theater without even seeing the girl?
That's right.
And it was shortly after that when you, Joseph?
Yes, sir.
Say the girls came in?
Yes, sir.
We have your statement. You won't mind if I corroborate it with the maid who was with the girl?
No. No, sir.
Miss Wood, at about 2 a.m. this morning, Judy Langley was assaulted and murdered. Do you understand the meaning of what I've said?
I do. I do.
Would you recount what happened from the time you arrived back at the house?
Some boy put something in Judy's Coke in the paper cup. She asked me to drive. On the way home, she passed out. When we got here, Joseph was waiting. He said he wanted to take Judy up the back way so that Mr. and Mrs. Langley wouldn't see her in that condition. He told me to go the other way.
And that was the last time you saw her and Joseph?
Yes.
That's all that occurred?
Well, yes.
Not quite all.
You want to add something, Mr. Bates?
When I said I didn't see the girls come in, that was true. But I could hear what was going on. When they first came in, I heard Joseph here tell a colored girl that she was going to get the devil from the Langleys for going out with Judy and letting her get drunk. Then I heard some sounds like the girl and Joseph were arguing. But I couldn't make it out. And then he kind of half dragged her off toward the house.
He's lying. Mr. Langley?
He's lying. When I told you I'd retired early, that was the truth. But I couldn't sleep, and I saw the girls come in. Judy had been drugged. I spoke to Joseph and was in complete harmony with his idea of taking Judy up the back way so it wouldn't disturb my mother and father.
Why didn't you tell us this before?
I never dreamed anyone would suspect Joseph.
Your keeping quiet could incriminate you. Even so, since you were the last person to see the girl alive, Joseph, I would like for you to come downtown for further questioning.
You're not holding Joseph for murder.
I didn't say that. I merely want to get a formal statement.
Well, don't you worry, Joseph. I'll contact my lawyer. He'll meet you at the police station.
Thank you all for your cooperation.
I'm sorry to speak to you this way, but he didn't do it.
Oh, Don, tell your mother I won't be home for dinner.
But he didn't, it wasn't...
Would you mind bringing me a cup of hot tea to that cozy sitting room past the stairs there?
But he...
Hello? I should be home in time for the late show. Yeah. Just put it on the sideboard. Would you close the door, please? Be seated if you like. Miss Wood? Cindy?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the slang expression San Quentin quail?
Yes. Where I come from, I hear it quite often.
Are those the stables down there?
Yes.
You liked Judy?
Oh, very much. She wasn't really a bad girl.
I believe that. You're trembling. Are you cold? Even with a fire?
It's just that things have been happening so fast. Joseph didn't kill Judy. He wouldn't harm a hair on her head.
I know.
It was Major Bates.
I know. But what I'm curious about is why you didn't blurt that out in the room back there. That certainly would have made things difficult for me.
Like I say, it's just that things have been happening so fast. When Major Bates accused Joseph back there, I wanted to speak out. But for just a moment, I said to myself, maybe I don't know Joseph. There have been things.
Things?
Well, there's the silver. The Langleys have a fantastic silver collection. Joseph confided in me. He said he was just waiting for the moment when he could take it and run away. He said it would help him get the garage he's always wanted. Joseph's good with cars.
You don't believe that Joseph would take the silver?
Not really.
You'd like to help Joseph?
Oh, yes.
And see that Major Bates stands trial for the murder of Judy?
Yes.
All right. There's a great deal we know about the Major, but we need your help. Does he still drink heavily?
He gets drunk every night. Sometimes the cook says he doesn't even finish his meal before he starts drinking.
Is there a phone connection between the house and his quarters down at the stable?
Yes.
Joseph said that you and Judy wore the same kind of dress last night.
Yes. She gave me one like hers.
Listen carefully. You're going to wear that dress again tonight. I want you dressed and waiting by 10 o'clock. By that time, you'll be through for the evening. I want you to use your phone and call the stables. Say exactly what I'm going to tell you to say.
Major Bates. This is Judy. I want you to saddle my horse. I'm taking him out.
Judy? It's too damn cold. Horses? I snapped your neck. That little neck that thought it was so smart. Sassy. Brassy. It had all the pimply-faced boys hopping.
George? George, I'm leaving.
Then it's nothing? What happened means nothing?
I'm leaving because I do love you.
How can you say that? How can you say you love me and then leave?
I don't belong here, George. I know that now.
That's not true, Cindy. You and I would...
George, it's a lousy world we live in, but it's the only one we've got.
Well, let's change it, Cindy. As long as we've got each other, what does it matter?
People like you don't change worlds, George. You just make them a better place to live in.
Don't go. Stay, please, Cindy.
Joseph's waiting to drive me to the station.
Cindy, wait. I love you. I do. I love you.
Oh, George. Whatever I wanted from you, it wasn't gratitude. I wanted to be someone else, but it didn't work.
Will we ever see each other again?
In a way, I suppose.
Cindy, I can't.
George, listen to me. In a way, we will see each other. Maybe someday, there'll be a place when we can actually meet. When they won't clock time. And we can defy earthly mathematics. George, when I was a little girl, we used to play a game called Shadows. Maybe we'll be shadows. And one day, we'll be coming around a corner and bump into each other. Accidental like. And then, maybe we'll kiss. I'd appreciate it. You were right the first time.